Those are the things that we have to learn because at the end of the day, the fate, the living condition, or the situation of the country falls down back to the leadership. So what is that? What are the gaps between good leadership, the constitution, and that is what we are finding. We need to find a solution to. So yes, we need good governance, but as much as we need governance, a good, and if we have to scrutinize our constitution, the constitutional and legal framework upon which governance is carried out also need to be interrogated.
But in another way, is this not a kind of like attention drift? Bearing in mind that the election, 2027 is just by the corner, and right now we're talking about another constitution rather than focusing on other things that should be.
No, I think it is. It's not. I don't see it as distracting.
Okay.
In that sense, I will see it as timely, so that as we go into election, as we're discussing talking about new constitution, means that we're discussing the fourth lines in the current constitution we're operating, so that there should also be issues that should be discussed on the campaign podium. If we have that, these are texts to show whether, you see, you cannot just say democracy. There are sociological foundations. There are sociological foundations for certain form of governance to thrive in a society. So these are things. These are the political education processes that Nigerians were going to go through to purge ourselves of the primordial cleavages upon which and the sociological foundation that have become anathema to the flourishing of our flourishing of democracy in our country. So, as we go onwards to hold these public debates, as we talk, people are enlightened. People are the knowledge that we wouldn't get in the four walls of classrooms. We get it. It's a form of informal and non-formal system part of our education. So it is not distracting.
So it's going to help refine us
better. Yes, when we get in the debate.
Right. Okay, I'm moving to the education system in the country. Now, a Punch puts it this way. It says, JAMB uncovers 9,460 illegal admissions in 20 tertiary institutions.
Okay.
So it says, according to the board, the admissions were conducted outside the popular Central Admission Processing System, popularly known as PAPS. Well, my question is, in all of this, what is the future of education in the country? Now, the future of education for the students, because while uncovering this, it means that something went wrong in the first place. So what is the future actually of education in the country? Over 9,460 illegal admissions in different tertiary institutions right here in the country.
Yeah, it is not peculiar to JAMB. One of the problem of our society is weak oversight functions. One of the things that happen in Nigeria happen because there are no supervisory rules, or those who are in the supervisory mechanism, monitoring evaluation mechanisms are compromised. You talk about the popular issue of subsidy. There are no nations in the world that does not have one form of subsidy or the other. But the subsidy scheme was abused, grossly abused. So, you talk about the police system. We have our police system. Go to the our police station. Well, you take the blame to the but do interrogate the workings of the system. You see that a lot of compromises are there. We talk about the petroleum industry. You see how our overnight we allow our refineries to deteriorate until they pack up, and they became a drain pipe of our economy. I'm not sure there's any government that didn't vote money for turnaround maintenance, and at the end of the day there was no turnaround. So what is you will see in JAM, coupled with where we have we now have proliferation of university. You know what is going to take NUC, the number of people and what the workforce it will take to really carry out the oversight function. When we were having, like, you cannot compare that when you're oversighting, like, let's say 50 institutions. You are not going to be the same that when you are citing over 300. I learned in Nigeria, we have over 300 universities in Nigeria today. So it is about the perversion of regulatory framework in Nigeria. Why people do things and get away with it is because the system by which we are functioning, allows it. There's every crime is a product of the society where it happens. There's no crime that it's just like I use the analogy sometime here on this set. Then we'll talk about when we're doing secondary, primary school, secondary school. They teach condition necessary for the germination of seed. There must be conditions necessary for germination of seed. When you plant a seed, the soil must be fertile, there must be moisture, there must be air, all the
starts today, but it was uncovered, very recently.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's a solution to this?
Because it is not a natural phenomenon. Because it's a sociological issue. Sociological issue means a phenomenon occasioned by the actions of men. It can be done with. It is just getting the type of leadership that will start, look at the country, look at the nation, each part of nation building from the scratch and begin to put to the building blocks, we have a country called Nigeria. We are yet to have a nation, in the functional nation called Nigeria. So we are just a collective striving for a share of what is on the table. So how to make that collective an unbreakable one unit? I'm not sure we're there.
But there's no perfect nation, or is there?
You see, there's no perfection in humanity. If you attempt perfection, then you become God. So but there's a threshold. There's a threshold, yeah.
Right. Okay, let's move to the issue of flooding. Flooding is one issue that has been ravaging different parts of the country over a period of time. And right now, the federal government has issued warnings as heavy rainfall threatens 11 states.
Yes.
Now, you know that at this period, the federal government will announce that people should evacuate to uplands, and if the uplands are affected, they should leave the environment entirely. But the question I want to ask is it really, let's say, the dams or the rains that are causing this flood? Could there be an issue of, let's say, poor town planning that could lead to the issue of flooding?
Okay, you have somehow given a listening to the answer. Water bodies, the issue of water flow has been there with us from time immemorial. That's called, we won't talk in the biblical flooding. The Noah has to build an ark. It blows up. So this part of so we have identified the drivers. We have described the drivers, which are the torrential rains and the issue of the management of the dams when the dams overflow. But the enablers, now that is where the poor urban and regional planning comes in. That is where the environmental degradation, that is where faulty environmental culture comes in. People build, that's where issue of lack of absence of adherence to the rule of law comes in. We have environmental laws, environmental protection laws, which include sanitation laws, building and control, development control laws and all that. We come again. From where we left off, the issue of JAMB. Why are these regulatory frameworks, why are not they working? Why are they not working? It is the nature of our system, where we are not law abiding because we can offend the law and get away with it. We can offend the law and get away with it. Regulatory framework will be compromised. People could be bribed, instead of doing their work, they use it as a source of self-gratification. And so there's a whole lot of. When you get to a place, first of all, the way you know how developed the people are. It's not about the mansions they build. It's not about. It's different. So some of other places. You wonder how. Look at. So if you get into some of our schools, you will cry. Across Nigeria, there was one they were showing in Rivers State. School. You begin to wonder how this can happen. An institution, a state of national infrastructure, like a school. You know what a school is? Where you are breeding, where you are grooming your citizen, the next generation, the next life of your nation. And it's abandoned like that. People who walk in that kind of place, people who school in that kind of place, what kind of human beings are going to be? I said it here on this set some time ago when we talk about this education thing. You see schools. Before, when we were in our time, when we were coming up, once you walk into, you get close to a school, at the gate, then you get in, you see the lab, you see the food, the different sports pitches. Today, you will just see one building behind a market, and the right is international school. And they do people that say all their students made A's in the last exam, and everybody will take in their children. There is no school there. As far as I'm concerned, as somebody who had early teacher training education, those are no schools. Those are just places where people go to take certificates. Because the school goes beyond just the building and getting to write and get A's in the exam. So it is unfortunate. It is very unfortunate.
It's truly unfortunate.
The environment cannot be better than the people who live in it. So the flooding thing, do we even the havoc we have witnessed from flash floods or even the perennial flood? Have we not learned our lessons? Do we need always to be told? It is a very big paradox.
Well, you've said a lot, but before we let you go, there's this one I really want you to talk about. Obasanjo is of the opinion that Nigeria's problem is leadership.
Yes.
Well, here's my question. The leaders, they are backed by the Constitution to lead the people. But can effective leadership
can't take it away from him that he was a disciplined man. His own person. He was not known for materialism or sexist. He was known to be frugal. But look at what happened that took over from him from the same political party, said that they were handed over a broken economy. So, which means he's not no position talking, which means his own party said the economy his administration was broken. And that they were like they're starting from. It was an indictment on the government he led. But was he not a good man? So it opens up the interrogation. Where are the fault lines, the perennial fault lines in our government? And I take it back to you that we must start from that one. I said the sociological foundation of society. How many, most of us who are out there, we are waiting for our turn to even go and do worst than what we're seeing that we're crying for. We have seen people who were outside, and when they came into government, what they do. So we must look at that thing that make that causes what we now call everybody call bad leadership. Because we have seen people, we say people of integrity, go into government and still end. You remember St. Augustine of Hippo, and he's a city of God. You know, and that we are all sinners. He said we are all sinners, but we choose individually. We choose which sin to commit. So some will commit the sin of lying, some commit the sin of armed robberies, and so we need a lot to interrogate. It is part of the effort in nation building. Like we say, Rome was never built in a day.
All right.
But the step, the speed and velocity at which we are going in nation.
And of course, the special one in Asaba, the state capital, as it is the Captain's Day tournament. I'll be looking at golf as a game, and of course, sports tourism in Delta State focus on the Igbori Golf and Country Club Captain's Day tournament. Part 2. Remember in part 1, I told you that I will be coming right here at the golf course to bring to you what the golf course looks like, and of course the players who are doing what they know how best to do as far as this game is concerned. I am Vivian Ekechika.
enjoyed the peace and the hospitality in this capital territory, and they have felt the more agenda of Governor Sharif's administration. And I think the idea is that we have shown that this is a tourism center. This is a place they can come to enjoy themselves. Some of them are staying in the leisure park, and that's to showcase what we have for the operation. And so many hotels in Asaba, and they've all done that in peace and tranquility. I think that should give me joy. First, as the DG Capital Territory, and secondly, as the captain of this club.
Because it's a game you score yourself. You know, that is all those things will play out. And it's a game that exercises you not rigorously, but systematically. You can do 10 kilometers walk or with some rhythm. It's not like football, it's not like hockey, it's not like table tennis. Particularly when you're getting aged, you have to do a systematic exercise. You're exercising at the same time, it's not rigorous. It doesn't affect your body so much. All it does is to reduce stress, strengthen you, and give you good health. So you also socialize. You see over almost 200 persons involved in this tournament. You know a lot of persons, high, persons in the society. So it's a very good game.
I can see you have, I don't know what to call this. Can you
We
talk
call
about
it,
what you have by
we call this club.
Okay.
We call them kits. These are instruments for playing the game. They are different sizes. And you deploy them depending on what you want to achieve. The distance, how you pick the ball, where you are, what you want to achieve determines what you want to apply. So it's there for various purposes, all to consummate the totality of the goal you want to score on each goal.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the one you have. We just saw you key teal. Can you talk about
The one I have now, we call it 71.
Okay.
It gives the greatest distance and it has the greatest strength.
Okay.
But it depends too, you can use a lesser one depending on what you want to achieve. But generally speaking,
It's a game of sincerity. It's a game that pages who you are. And by the time I play a round of golf, I can tell this is the character of this person. And also, it gives you the kind of exercise that you get therapeutically. You do swings, you think, and when you swing, all your muscles and your reflexes come into play. And then you think, it gives you ability to think because you are playing against the course. It's a whole course where you have to hit your ball. You might do it 10 times, you might do it 2 times, but because you have a target, it keeps your brain working. And because of, again, it makes you do exercise. At the same time, you work, which is therapeutic. And for all age, you find out that the average person that plays golf, somehow medically has been said, stays longer than those that don't play. It's a good game.
Thank you very much.
yes.
So how has it been? Golf?
It has a ripple effect because business will boom, hotels, people will eat, people will drink.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Game first of all, January, and what is happening this season in Asaba as far as golf is concerned?
Thank you very much. I am Silva Ofogo, Wishi Silva Ofogo, Chief Executive of His Royal Majesty, the 14th Asaba of Asaba. Well, for me, golf is life. I played all sports, soccer, tennis, swimming. But the best of it all is golf because golf defines your character. If I play golf with you without knowing you, I'm from Batman, so that you will tell your character. You know, it's, if you're honest, it will show. If you're lazy, you show. If you're organized, it show. If you're treacherous, you show. Much for sports and tourism, Delta State in particular, Nigeria in general. We're also celebrating Delta State, and it's people. You know, a lot of people have come, over 200, from different parts of the country to honor the Captain's Day. Chief Patrick Oka, who is the captain of our club. You know, he's doing the Captain's Day. In club, we do Captain's Logo when we come, and we do Captain's Day. The tournaments required a captain to perform, and this is Captain's Day. You can do other competition, but this is personal tournament. I know there are other tournaments that will come from me, but this one, it's you know, it's required, and that's what it's doing. What is happening here? The town is fast growing, fastest economy, and people are coming. If we do another tournament, they will come. Why would they come? Because it's conducive, enabling environment to have fun, play golf, sleep. Mary, we're here last night till about 12 o'clock. If there were no peace, nobody would be out here. So that's why I thank God for that program. For this gesture, I was my Real Madrid Institute. He's a patron of the club. Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, how do you find your stay here so far?
Quite beautiful, and the weather clement enough for the rain. Seem not to be too challenging.
Okay. Now that you're here, what do you have to concerning this tournament, and what are your expectations from where you'll be playing? And
my expectation is to win first.
Okay.
And then study the club. I'm playing for the second time. I wish the incoming captain the best. And then everybody the best too.
In a few minutes, what do you say about the game of golf?
Golf is life. But I've often told people this is my national sport. I play football, I swim, I play table tennis.
Are you an official sports person?
Sorry?
Are you an official sports person, or is it just flair?
For flair for games.
Okay.
I'm an engineer by profession. I have a different sports. So golf is the infant life game. Because in golf you see people of different names, different behavior, different character, discipline, integrity is epithet